Hey, folks, this is Steve Vai, and you're listening to Tom and Zeus on Shout It Out Loudcast.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Oi. This is Gene Simmons.
Put that cookie down.
Kiss.
Stop pressing the button.
Stockbroker Simmons.
Star? Paul Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting.
My name is Ace Frehley.
He's not what you would call a handsome man.
Oh, no. Here come the kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay.
All right.
I'm going to grab me an ice cold mellow yellow.
Why? Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them.
That's what are you talking about?
617-525-0850. You do? Hey, fucko.
Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Episode 295, Midnight Special.
Yeah, midnight special. TV clip time. Love it.
Took the midnight train to Georgia.
Yeah, Flip Wilson. They flip you. Flip you for real. Oh, yeah, I'm real scared.
Flip Wilson. All righty. Wow. Anyway, Tom, last week we had a fun fucking episode. We got a ton of feedback.
Yep.
And that is, we came up with the idea to do a lost 1978 album. Basically, the band got together and everybody brought their solo albums into the fold. And then they picked 10 songs from the solo albums and made an album out of it. A Kiss album, not solo albums. Me and you came up with producers, song, album titles, and covers. And a lot of people jumped in on this. But first, we did a poll. How did that come up?
Yep. So we said, which of these songs is a must if you're going to make a lost Kiss album comprised of the solo album songs? So the four options were Rip It Out from Ace's album, Radioactive from Gene's album, Tonight You Belong to Me from Paul's album, and New York Groove from Ace's album. Ace crushed it in this poll, 46% with Rip It Out, 29% for Paul with Tonight You Belong to Me, 16% for New York Groove. And I was surprised. I mean, I know you split in the votes here, but Radioactive only 9%. So, I mean, I get it. You can only pick one song. Our buddy Andy says Rip It Out is easily the best song from all four albums. Derek Rolando, I got to have Radioactive on mine. John Gross, I would have to have all four, but I voted for Rip It Out because not only is it a killer way to open a record, it's also a good live set opener, as a lot of bands open a tour with a current album opener. Matt Murphy, Paul's song might be the best song he ever did. Would have loved to see what peak Ace could have done with that song. It's the majesty of Kiss. Ooh. Our buddy Bill Elam, I voted Rip It Out, but all four are gold. Brian Krieger says, Tonight You Belong to Me, a great example of past and future Kiss combining to form where they were in 1978. The crunching guitars of early Kiss combined with a sense of melody and a more melodic direction that they soon would be heading. That's a great point, Brian. Our buddy Steve, Tonight You Belong to Me, could have made a 10-track Kiss album with Paul's whole album. Best of the four for me. A lesson in how to write great, catchy songs. Greg Seacrest says, definitely Rip It Out. If I had been on either Love Gun or Rock and Roll Over, it would have been the best song on the album. It's Ace's best song. A lot of people think that too. And let's see what people thought of the episode itself as opposed to just the poll. A couple people did bring up the point that there was a best of the solo albums.
We know.
Yeah, we knew that. It was pretty terrible. I take that back. It wasn't terrible. It was just offensive. That
the selections were terrible.
Yeah, that it put Hold Me, Touch Me on there. So it's a nice item to have as a collector's item, but it's not great. So we did get a couple comments on that. And just to speak on this, I know Zeus will bring it up when he gets to Facebook, and I'll bring it up when we get to our emails and stuff. Thank you to everybody who contributed and made up their own lost album. We love that interaction. We're not going to be able to read all of those tonight because we got a ton of them, but we love seeing them. And trust me, Zeus and I have read all of them. But those are great. We got one here from our buddy Steve again. Just great stuff. We'll finish up Twitter with this one from Beach Boys Are the Goat. Gotta say, I've never thought too highly of the solo albums, but you all have shown me today. You make me want to hear at least some of them again. Well, that's perfect. That's kind of the compliment we love. Listen to this show and go do something Kiss related because you heard us. Thank you for that. And that's Twitter.
All right. On the Book of Face, let's go through some message. I'm telling you, we got a shit ton of comments here.
I'm telling you, anytime we do an episode that focuses strictly on the music and encourages like the listeners to kind of get involved, it just blows up. We love this stuff. It's awesome.
So we have a couple people right off the bat. Adam Nierenberg, Keith Ross with their list. Anthony, don't call me Michael Hunt. He have his list. Ronnie Bachowski says,
no,
I think that you guys gave the Kiss their next marketing idea. Not that those cheap asses would give you a dime or a credit, though. I guess they sort of did this with Kiss Icons, but that's more of an anthology. This is a badass idea and a tricky one at that. For me, it would be 5 Paul tunes, 3 Ace tunes, 1 from Gene and Peter. And for the sake of consistency, because the majority of the albums from these two is just a bunch of hot cock garbage.
Jesus.
I don't know what hot cock is, but whatever it is, I can't decide what the middle would all contain. It would definitely be open with like Tonight You Belong to Me and end with It's All Right. It's All Right, I always felt like was an early glimpse into what Kiss would become in the 1980s. That could have been on Asylum. Love the new book, dudes. It's my favorite thing to read while I poop. He's fucking something else, huh?
Fucking Ronnie, man.
Yeah.
God.
Graham Richley, fantastic idea. I reckon Zeus knocked it out of the park. Gotta have New York Groove as the first single. What an album that would have been, and so much better than the best of solo albums that did come out.
Yep.
Vince Fasano, great episode. The Kiss solo albums have truly aged like fine wine. When you combine the best tracks from all 4, you get one of the best Kiss albums ever, hands down. Now I've got a new playlist. Thanks for that. I also just finished the book, and it was such a great experience, especially pairing it with tracks I hadn't listened to in a while. Can't wait to dive into the next book. Stay tuned.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love hearing that stuff too. And Tom, wouldn't you say that's probably one of the best comments we've heard, that the solo albums have aged like fine wine?
I agree. I totally agree. I think that's one thing from that era that ages well, because a lot of people shit on like Phantom of the Park, or they shit on like the merch or whatever you want to talk. But I think those solo albums, those are good, man.
I think people have gone back and be like, you know what? Those weren't so bad. I know they didn't, some of them weren't really Kiss songs or like things from Kiss, but those are actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the time, it might have been a little bit jarring, but like you said, it has aged well. Now we're not 12 years old buying these, or in our cases, 5 years old buying them. We're older.
Like, what the fuck is tossing and turning?
Right, we're older now. You're like, you know what? This shit's pretty cool. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So let's move on. Jody Harriman, another person that put their list together. Thank you, Jody. Bobby Kenner. Doing this Lost album was a really cool concept, boys. Can't wait to hear both of your track listens as playlists. Definitely an all-star track roster from both of you. For the grief that Peter's album unfortunately gets, I love I Can't Stop the Rain, and it's a go-to track for me. Absolutely, Bobby. I'm 100% with you. Cool appearance by Vinny on the storage unit business, too. He and Ace need to write a song about it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know about them writing a song in. John Hudson says, you guys both put together pretty solid albums. One track I would have included is Man of a Thousand Faces. I love that song. That just barely didn't make the cut for me.
Yeah, not bad.
Let Paul have a pass on the lyrics and add a full band performance aided by some of Eddie Kramer's production touches, and you might have get a great Demon song to rival Almost Human.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know about that.
I like the song because it's very catchy.
Yes.
But there's not, I'm just thinking the lyrics itself is not very demon-like.
Right.
I mean, it's more about the guy that's putting on different faces and
it's kind of an honor. He's honoring like Lon Chaney
exactly.
and all that stuff.
It's not so much demonish.
Right. Right.
So, there's a lot of violins and weird orchestra stuff. Maybe if Bob Ezrin, not Eddie Kramer, took over and added some spooky, stupid studio shit, who knows? But
that I would support. Yeah, I think that would be, yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's go over to Loudcasters, Tom.
All right.
Andrew Johnson, another person who was the president after Abraham Lincoln and a Kiss fan, apparently. He put a top 10 list. Oh, wow. Christopher Miles says, my first album by Kiss was the best of the solo albums. My dad was working in Germany and brought it back for me.
Nice.
You must have been like, this is what people are crazy about? BC Allison. Great show. Tom and Zeus, you guys rule. Can't argue with any of your picks. I actually have the best of the solo albums compilation for 79. It's not far off from what you guys came up with. As always, great show. See, the problem with the best of solos, not only the selection bad, but they arbitrarily went 3-3-3, right?
Well, they had to.
The way down.
You knew they would.
They have 12 songs. Okay. I'm sorry. Paul's a lot better than the other guys. So
no, I agree. Yeah, of course. But I mean, yeah, again, it's a nice collector's item to have. It was kind of a rarity thing, kind of like Killers, like, oh, what's this? But it's not what we would make.
Nope. Matthew Cullifer, another person, put his list together. The Greek Thunder from Down Under, Thanos Akratides writes, oh my God, what a great show and great concept. To be honest, as I sit here today, I can't make this a single album. So I've chosen a double album. Well, because you can't follow the rules, my Greek friend, I'm not going into the
You're
rest
out.
of your.
You're out. You got to follow the rules, brother.
Yeah. I can't do it. Well, you know what? Neither can I, but we've somehow managed to do it. Ugh. Then we have Jane Aslak Rasanen, Tom.
Who posted a very handsome photo of himself.
Dude, I'm not joking. I thought that was Kip Winger originally. Like, who gave him that book?
And that's a compliment, because Kip Winger is a handsome man.
Yeah. Jane, you might win most handsome male loudcaster that we have.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a new category.
So, Tom, he picked two of your three. He took Radioactive as the cover, the title, and he said Eddie Kramer, but he took my solo albums. But he did take Hooked on Rock and Roll and I Can't Stop the Rain.
Ooh, okay.
Wow. And he did take New York Groove, but he took your Wouldn't You Like to Know Me and Fractured Mirror.
Yeah.
And he does make a comment to you, Tom. He says, on the Phantom movie, I always saw Kiss's delayed appearance in the movie as an attempt to create suspense, like Jaws. You don't see the shock properly until well into the movie.
Now, here's what I'll respond to that. You have just compared two movies on the entire opposite end of the motion picture quality spectrum. Now, two movies I love. Jaws is like a Mount Rushmore movie for me, and I love Phantom of the Park. I get what you're saying. I totally understand your theory, but this is a TV movie that is meant to promote Kiss.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but no, you got to pull people in early with Kiss and that thing.
Eric Alberti says in his Facebook group, I had a contest to come up with an album cover band based on the same concept. One Kiss album with the best 12 songs from the 78 solo albums, with the premise that the solo albums never actually happened. This was the winning design. He put it up here. It's on Loudcast. If anybody wants to see it.
It's very cool.
And it has them walking, it looks like, in the city of New York, and says larger than life.
Yeah. I like that.
Problem is, you just released Kiss Alive 2 with that title.
Well, it had the song.
Yeah, the song title. It's already been, now you're going to release an album, next album like that?
Maybe.
I don't think that works. Anyways, Tom Selig, he put his list together. So did Josh Brown. Justin Steele writes, great episode again. Love these. I'm wondering if we allow side 2 of Alive 2, could we come up with 2 solid albums? See You Tonight would be on that album. These are fun. Keep them coming.
Thanks.
End with John Whiteman. I wish they would combine the solo albums, added new material, and released them as 4 Kiss albums starting in 78, instead of releasing them all at once. The original 4 might have stayed together longer, and the band's legacy would have been so different. But then we may not have gotten modern classics like Genghis Khan or Peter's cover of Send in the Clowns.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's funny. Let's go over to YouTube. Colin 09T. Another killer episode. Nearly lost my shit when Vinny and Ace intervened together. Here in Australia, we had a comp release entitled Best of Solo Albums back in the day. The cover was almost identical to Zeus's idea for 78. Both your track selections are on the money. Was it bad management that deprived us of cool albums standalone? Let's face it, in my opinion, many of the solo album tracks are worthy of decades later box sets rather than the way it panned out. Harsh, then again, relentlessly entertaining.
Thank you.
Appreciate it about that. Low body fat 6707. That's not a podcaster, Tom. I bought the book from Amazon the day it was available. I'm still working on it, but I think it's great. The best part of this book that you do not have to start from the beginning. I just pick up what albums I want to read whenever I pick it up. You guys are the best. Thank you for the book.
Wow. Thank you. Love it.
Yeah, much appreciated. We'll end with Marty White. This was so much better than the best of the solo albums. Just curious, does your album come with the poster for your enjoyment? Is the watermark there? And if you don't please behave yourself, then I'm going to have to throw you out of the group. All right. I think that impression and Vinny are the same one, but
I think it is too, which is nice.
I got to work on it. But all right, Tom, back to you, brother.
All right, let's look at some Instagram stuff here. Junior Vintage, you guys both nailed it. This would have been the greatest Kiss album of all time. All I kept thinking is, how the hell can you fit any of Peter's songs into this list? If I was producing to keep the peace, I would have had Peter sing lead on one of Ace's songs, like Speedin' Back to My Baby or I'm in Need of Love. Interesting. Okay. Justin Time Prager, all you need is Ace's album to do this. Oh, stop it. No.
Yeah, somebody else had done that too.
Yeah, I know. Tuo Hylium. Took your guys' advice and combined the best of each to make a full playlist on Spotify. My opener was Tonight You Belong to Me, followed by Rip It Out. I feel like those two would be such an unbeatable 1-2 punch. Tonight You Belong to Me is the more epic sounding one that takes you on that emotional ride. And then before you can even process the excellence that you've just heard, you get blasted with the thunderous drums of Rip It Out. And it's a total adrenaline rush from there. Great episode. All right. Love hearing that. And let's look at a few emails, Shell. We got a ton of emails, so we're going to try to fly through some of these. Again, thank you for everybody that sent emails. Great stuff here. We got one here from Dave Arsenal. He did his job by making a title, an album cover, a producer, giving his list. That was awesome. Eric Schwink did the same thing, coming up with an idea for the producer, the album cover, the title, and his 10 songs. We love seeing that. Mark Bomer. Great concept for this episode as a way to celebrate the 4 solo albums. Yet another reason why Shout It Out Loudcast remains miles ahead of the pack. I have little argument with either of the lists you guys selected, other than to say I Can't Stop the Rain is the only Peter song on mine. And then he comes up with saying he would have Bob Ezrin produce it and kind of all the information and details he would have with the cover and insert. So again, Mark, great stuff. We love hearing from you all the time. We got one here from Rick Hickey. Congrats on another brilliant episode. I loved all of your song choices for the Lost album. Have to say I'm on Team Eddie Kramer for this producer's seat, and please forgive me, Zeus, but you know there is no way that Gene and Paul would open a Kiss album with an Ace song. Well, Rip It Out would no doubt...
Wait a minute. Yeah. That's why I had Sean Delaney as the producer.
Because he would, he could calm him down. Yeah. Well, Rip It Out would no doubt be included on the record. It's a cold day in hell when they give Ace the opening track. Believe me, it hurts me to say that because I've been in the Ace cult since 1976, but I just can't see that happening. Also would have liked to have heard Peter's Don't You Let Me Down. But I know that by 1978, Rules were looking at an LP clocking in at about 40 minutes tops. And as great as that tune is, it would absolutely fuck up the flow of the record. Just had to say thanks again for another great episode. Keep up the good work, and please keep the Ace impressions going. It's always my biggest laugh of the week. Rick Hickey, you're the man. Thank you for that. We got one here from our buddy Scott Greer. This is one of the most fun episodes you've ever done. There were so many options and ways to have it play out. Yes, it could have been one of their best albums ever. Tough call on who should have produced it, as Eddie produces my favorite albums, but it was a time of transition, and Sean Delaney filled that role very well in Dynasty. Radioactive is a great album title, but calling Kiss 78 is pretty badass. I'd be happy with either. Next, we're going to need Tom and Zeus to take on all the Ace Solos records and combining and call it Ace's Deuce. Fuck. God. We got one here from our good buddy Trent Bally. Absolutely impeccable analysis on one of the most beloved and intriguing eras in KISStory. What a concept for an episode. Keep the bangers coming. Just a couple of quick thoughts here. One, I love the idea of having Ace kick off the record for the first track. And if anybody could have kept Paul and Gene cool with it, Sean Delaney would be the guy. Great call by two hosts who know this band better than anybody. Two, I find the Peter submissions on both your lists interesting. Granted, it's kind of an impossible exercise to do with Peter's solo album because none of the music on his album is Kiss flavored. And if these guys would actually make an album in 78, he probably would have had some different songs to bring to this table entirely, whereas the other three stuck to the Kiss sound. Maybe not Gene as much, but you get the point. I think you guys made some solid choices, although I'd lean more on Tom's side of having only one Peter track. Cheers to continued success, Trent. Trent, you're the man. Thanks, brother. And we'll finish up feedback here with one from our longtime supporter, Scott Wheeler. Another great episode. If that album were released, it really would have been the best Kiss album on my list. Your list got me thinking, though. What if you compile the worst 10 songs from all 4 solo albums, and would this worst of the worst be below all other Kiss albums? My lowest ranked Kiss album is The Elder. And after creating my list, I think this would take over the bottom spot. Can you imagine side 1 opening up with Hold Me, Touch Me? Flip it over. And side 2 begins with Easy Thing. Horrific. Do you think the worst solo songs from all 4 could unseat your bottom ranked Kiss album? And here he goes. Side 1, Hold Me, Touch Me. I'm Gonna Love You. Snowblind, Don't You Let Me Down, and Mr. Make Believe. Flip it over to side 2, Easy Thing. True Confessions. That's the Kind of Sugar Papa Likes. Kiss the Girl Goodbye. When You Wish Upon a Star. P.S. Love the book. Scott, we love you and all the kind things that you say about the show, and you're always supporting us with your messages and emails, but your creativity is incredible here, and we love this. You didn't just give us a list of the 10 best. You flipped it on its head and turned it into something hilarious that we're going to talk about. So, Scott, for all that and more, my friend, you are the comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. We're going to be watching you.
Tom, let's give a shout out to our Patreon family, which, again, I feel like it's like every week I tell you guys and I tell Tom, I'm like, Lou, we broke our own record. And we have a new member. Tyler Smith joins us as a spaceman. Tyler comes in when Patreon has never been bigger. So Patreon is where someone subscribes monthly and they pay a monetary fee. And there are 4 different tiers. You can pay whichever one you want. And with the 4 different tiers, you get different perks. And you're helping the show, which is the main thing that Patreon is supposedly be there for. But with that, we give you something back, whether it be an involvement in the show, like we just did the ARC Patreon pick, which was Wasp, which I cannot believe how much fucking feedback we're getting on that. That's something, whether it be the March Madness tournament that you guys get involved in, or it's polls, Flashback Fridays, merch that we give out. And now we have the koozies for certain tiers, guitar picks for certain tiers, stickers. I think everyone gets stickers. And then, T-shirts as well. We have our video chats, which we have one coming up, scheduling soon. Look in your emails, Patreon family. We'll have that coming up shortly. And plenty of more stuff that we involve you guys with on the show. So Patreon is there to support and help the show. We're always looking for new ideas to make this show bigger and better. And Patreon is there to support us. So if you want to make us continue to grow, you want to support the guys here, me and Tom and the program, please become a member of Patreon. How do you do that? You go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com, and right on the landing page is an icon there. Press it. It's Patreon. It'll tell you which tier that you want to select, join, and become part of the family. And again, we can't thank you guys enough. And one of the favorite things is the inside jokes that we have when we put up posts and things in the comments that go back. It's a real family. So Loudcasters and Patreon family, thank you. And anybody else that's interested, please join and help out the show. Thank you to Tyler and everyone in the Patreon family.
You guys are the best. Thank you. We say the same thing every week, but it never gets old because you guys are amazing, especially Tyler Smith joining the family as a spaceman. And whether you're brand new like Tyler, with a couple weeks old, couple months old, couple years old, it doesn't matter. You guys are all amazing, and we are so eternally grateful for all of your generosity and support of the show. So please check us out. Go to our website, click on the link, or download the app and search for us and join the party.
Yeah, Tom, we next step over to our Kiss world and find out what's going on there. I can tell you, good old friend Paul Stanley put a new Twitter post up, and he writes, "At the studio painting and loving it. Life is awesome. So much ahead. Kiss spectacle will blow minds. The plans are," big capital letters, "mind blowing. Just thinking of all of you. That's all for now." And he's got somebody shit their pants look on his face. Not a smile. That's what Paul's been up to.
Well, you missed the other post about his new electric bike.
I almost did. And then I remembered because I looked underneath. Tell us about that one. Whew.
Yeah. So, of course, our good friend Paul with his, God, and he still can't smile. He has like an upside down grin. And then he has like Ray Charles biking. He's not even like, I bought an Aventon Solterra 2 lightweight e-bike out on my first ride. Awesome. Smooth gear shifting. Lightweight enough that you don't need the motor. And if you do, not enough to cheat. Really impressed. And then, of course, he tags the company. So, of course, it's a friggin' promo ad he's doing. And he looks like he just had like some lemon drop soup because his friggin' whatever's supposed to be a smile ain't a smile. It's who farted again.
Somebody shit their pants. Oh, good old lemon lips. Yeah, I'm sorry, Paul, man. You gotta, I don't know. He retweeted it like 3 fucking times.
Why do you think that is?
Look at this. He reposted this several times.
Yeah.
It's like 3 in a row.
Yeah, because it's an endorsement, which is fine. Good for him. Our buddy Bruce Kulick, last Sunday, they celebrated the birthday of the great Christina Vitagliano. And if you don't know who she is, if you've ever been to a Gene event, she's kind of Gene's handler and right-hand man / woman, whatever. She's awesome. Eric Singer was there. Zach Throne was there. They did Helter Skelter by the Beatles. They played a bunch of songs to celebrate her birthday. So that was pretty cool. Bruce is always like super active. So that's cool to see him doing that. He's always active on social media. But in terms of we always say, the band itself, nothing, people, nothing.
Yeah.
The social media pages is just kind of celebrating some anniversaries of certain events. But yeah, nothing. So again, kind of dead in Kiss world, unfortunately.
Let's take a quick little break. And speaking of dead, since the storages are all full of dead dogs, if anybody else has any more dead pets, please send them to Frailing Cusano storage units. We only charge $58 a month, and we can store your dead pet here like I do with all the neighborhood dead dogs. And please, you can come and enjoy them. Hey, Vinny, it's really starting to stink back here. Oh, shit.
All right, we're back. Yeah, Ace was getting really excited about our talk about the solo albums. Very, very excited. Yeah, God, I remember those songs. Those were fantastic songs like Juvenile Delinquent. Ace, wrong album. We're talking 78. I don't remember anything about that, guys. Snowblind, great song. Terrible song. Poor Ace. He gets confused. He looks like he's wearing like a Halloween mask. His face, his head, his hair, it all looks rubber. It just
Who was it? Was it John Whiteman that put that photo up with the huge bulbous nose that he brought? And I was like, dude, that cannot be real.
No, it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Oh,
poor
God.
Ace. Everybody says I'm the best looking in the band. Shit. Fuck.
Nope.
Anyway, Tom, so it's TV appearance time.
Yep.
And we looked at some of the Kissology videos and we went back and said, like, which one have we talked about and broken down? One of the last remaining legendary Kiss TV performances is what?
Yeah, their appearance in 1975 on the Midnight Special TV show. Very, very awesome, classic, legendary. We're going to break it down, talk about that. It is on Kissology, but not the complete thing. The only place that we could find the complete performance, everything put together into one, was on YouTube. I believe Kissology only has She and Black Diamond, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, Tom, you're right. And not much to go over, to discuss, to break down as far as the date. I believe it was April 1st, 1975. They were scheduled to perform, and they performed 4 songs. But no one has a copy of Come On and Love Me, which was the second track. They played Deuce, Come On and Love Me, which no one has, She, and then Black Diamond.
Yeah, and according to the dates that we have here, it looks like on April 1st is when they filmed them, and then on July 11th, Deuce and She with Ace's solo premiered, and then Black Diamond aired individually later on September 12th.
Yeah, which is strange, but Come On and Love Me never got placed. And people know that Come On and Love Me played because there are videos of like the sit down interview part where Paul mentions the 4 songs that they just played.
Yep.
So amongst them is Come On and Love Me, which is too bad that I don't know if anybody has it. It'd be interesting out there. I'm throwing out the KISStory fucking signal. If anybody has Come On and Love Me, let us know. But what we're going to do real quick here is we're going to put on the little segment here of the 3 songs for you guys to listen to them. And we'll be back after that. All right, guys. So we are back. Let's break down the opening one, which was the first song. And before the song comes on, Flip Wilson in a cowboy suit was on, cracking jokes.
Yeah, kind of makes a joke about appearances and with the outfit that he's wearing and kind of poking fun at Kiss's appearance. And they just get right into it. And dear God, oh my God, what do I always say every time we talk about this? Skinny, scary Gene.
Yeah. They open with Deuce. It's a pretty basic stage. They have the big like white light sign, the Kiss sign.
Yep. They got the awesome classic candelabra that they have over to the side of the stage, which always looks badass. You always think of like Winterland and those early shows. They got that there.
I mean, it's just an early raw performance of Deuce. They're fucking full of energy. They're thin. They're hungry. They're jumping around everywhere. I fucking love the look. Peter's drumming like fucking a madman back there. The band looks and sounds raw. It's a great performance. And, you look for all the hitches and signals and stuff that you always know about Deuce. Think of what we know comes on when we see them play that at the end of the road. But then look at this one. There's the Paul's do it. There's Ace rips into a solo while Paul and Gene are like bobbing together. Then there's the second solo. Gene and Paul go at it again. And then all 3 of them join. And when they do the fucking legendary Deuce dance, it's like magic.
Yeah.
At the end, flames come out. But in between that, Tom, tell us what you think.
Yeah, I use the exact same words. Hungry, energetic, powerful, fired up. Again, I'm obsessed with how Gene looks and performs.
Mm-hmm.
He prowls around the stage. He's so menacing. Ace is Ace. Peter is crushing the drums on that little riser that he's got. Paul looks great, no shirt on. They sound great. They look great. So this was kind of funny. Obviously, whenever we do these, I watched this a bunch of times, but my 81-year-old mom is up from Florida visiting for a few weeks. So we watched this last night. I put it on and she was like enthralled. Like she was like, look at Gene. She's like, no wonder you love him. Like, look at how crazy he is. And then she's like asking about Ace and Peter and like, just like, and before you knew it, the whole like 16-minute clip or whatever was like over. It was just like, so much power, so much energy from like the early age of this band. I think I may have mentioned this before when we've talked about some of the earlier ones like ABC in concert or whatever. When this show first started, when we first started Shout Out Loudcast, I was obsessed with the Love Gun era and the Dynasty era mostly. Ever since this show, Love Gun will always be number one for me, but this early 74, 75, like Alive 1 era, I just can't get enough of seeing these clips.
Yeah, the live performances of it. They just look hungry. And the other part to it I'm reading into it, but I feel like it was a band.
Totally.
It wasn't the dynamic of Paul and Gina doing everything. Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
You guys are fuck ups and we're going to write all the songs. It seemed like a band. Peter's counting off. He looks just as important as, if you didn't know anything, you'd think he's just as important. Same thing with Ace.
Yeah. It seems like everything they're doing, they're interacting amongst each other, or at least like they're near each other. They're engaging with each other, even not just the Deuce dance, just in general.
Now, we didn't get to see Come On and Love Me, but without Come On and Love Me, Paul's almost like the least important person in that band.
Well, that was one of the huge things that stood out to me. No Paul. Paul sings for a few. He sings
Black harmonies Diamond. And he does a little Black Diamond.
But I would love to know his reaction when he found out that Gene had 2 songs and Peter had 1 and he had none.
Yeah, I mean, that got actually shown on this video.
That's what I mean.
He did perform his.
But
he is animated. He's doing the windmill Pete Townsend shit. He's jumping up and down. He's jumping in on harmonies. He's got the dog collar on, shirt off. His fucking arms are jacked.
Yep.
He looks great. The band looks great. This stripped down band. And Ace, you don't look at him as like, oh, dude, is like, I'm trapped in the fucking 2024 version of Ace in my head. Like, oh, is he even fucking playing? Oh, they have him tuned down. Now you look at him and he's fucking ripping in that.
It's so funny to see that, right, 50 years ago, Ace, because Paul still looks great when we saw him at End of the Road. Gene still looks and sounds great End of the Road. But Ace, what a difference, like between when you watch this, like just firing on every fucking cylinder.
And you know the worst thing is?
Crushing these riffs, crushing these solos, crushing these leads, just incredible stuff.
You know what the worst thing is? He's at his prime, almost in his prime back then. He's fucking killing it right back then, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he's very unassuming.
Oh, totally.
Although he gets down on his knees a little bit at the end, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But he's not like, I'm the fucking...
Not at all.
Gunslinger guitarist jumping in front, like, whoa, making face up.
No.
He just doesn't even make a face. He's just like, seems like he's just the hired guy in the corner. He's playing guitar. Wow, this guy's ripping. Who's this guy?
Yep.
But you look and ask him now, he's fucking delusional.
Oh,
like he's got the ego of a maniac and he's fucking thinks he's like the greatest thing on earth. He doesn't, everybody knows, everybody followed me because I'm so creative.
Yeah.
And I invented so much shit. Eddie Van Halen is following me. Like just stupid shit. And back then when he was so fucking awesome, he was humble. He looked cool.
Yeah. You're right. He wasn't, like you said, each one of them seemed like equal parts, 4 equal parts in the band.
Hungry.
Yeah, nobody was. Of course, Gene is the scary looking animated one, but Ace had his own type of energy there. Paul had his own energy. Peter was crushing it. You're right. It's an amazing era for the band. I love this stuff, the early stuff.
Second song that comes up in this clip was She.
Yeah.
So I just wrote such a great jam again. They fucking sound so raw. And the best part for me is I love the 3-part harmonies when you can see Peter jumping in with the other 2 in the beginning. And then it switches. It becomes a 2-part harmony. And then Peter jumps back in again. I fucking love it because you can actually see and hear their voices and see where they're coming and hear the different aspects of it. I'm like, they just look like it came from the streets and it was raw. Remember when Gene said that?
Yep.
That's what it looks. And I love this look and that vision they have because it looks menacing, scary. Like what's this? It's dangerous. It's not the comic book superhero look and fucking character look that comes over by time Destroyer and the rest of that shit comes out. I love this stuff. Then there's a Gene breakdown where he fucking just jams on his bass. Dude, that might be the best. I fucking loved it.
That might be the best part of the video. It's just him and he's lurking. He's like crouched down. He's like the demon right there. But it's like scary. Like you said, the costumes are so raw, so like that they look. Nobody was doing this. Is 1975. Nobody was doing this shit. And one other thing we haven't talked about yet is depending on how you're viewing the video from the camera angle, the crowd isn't fucking moving. There's one guy banging his head and bobbing to the music. The rest of the crowd
are probably like, what the fuck?
The rest of the crowd literally aren't moving a muscle until each song ends and they're doing the appropriate little clapping.
I came to see Soupy Sales do a comedy bit. What is this shit?
Where's Donnie and Marie? This is scary.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
But then he gets on his knees and he does this head banging move like,
yep.
Was people head banging back then?
Exactly.
But like he's doing this head banging move on his knees and then fucking right into Ace's solo.
Oh.
And then then there comes the hello to Robert. That's just the chorus and Ace's guitar and Ace is just jamming. And then the drum part and Peter hits the drums and breaks into
oh my God.
The jam again, and Ace is killing it into the Ace solo, and he does finger tap there. And I wrote, "Look out, Eddie!"
Yeah,
this is a copyright.
Ace absolutely just destroys the solo right there. It's nice old fashioned Ace when Ace was like the guitar hero that we all now we're just sick of hearing him talk about it, like you said. Yeah. But back then, it's like, fuck, man, this was Ace
because he was unassuming. That's why he was one of my favorite members back then.
Yep,
because he never people aren't giving him credit. He's fucking awesome, this and that. And he wasn't like loud and in front, like, oh, I'm a rock guitar guy.
Right.
That's why we all loved him. This fucking guy that's out here now.
What's your problem now? Jeez, you guys are always shitting on me. Speaking of shit, I'll be right back.
There you go. Honey, I don't know if that's your breath or my pants. Something smells like shit around here.
I'm so glad the seasons are changing. Those hot nights in the shed. Oh, the smell was really, really bad. Now it's nice, cool, and crisp. Everything's kind of drying out a little bit.
I don't know if you have a dead tooth or something. But something reeks. Something awful in here.
What's in that cooler? Ah, jeez, Vinny. I told you to put this somewhere else.
I don't have any space in it. I don't have any space left. We need to get a couple more agreements and sign some more leases to get some more storage facilities. Ace.
Oh, God.
The business is doing well.
Oh, God.
So stay tuned for Fraley Cusano's expansion will be documented. Anyway, Tom, they break into Ace's tap and goes nuts. Another crazy performance. What a version of this song, huh?
So I love that they added She on here because Dress to Kill was the brand new album. So you got Deuce from the first album. You got She. We'll get to the final song. But it's funny because She is like a menacing song. It's not like poppy. And it's another Gene song. And I just thought that was a great selection. They could have easily done, Come On and Love Me, which they did play that. They did perform that. We didn't see it, though, which I still would love to know the backstory for that. But I think She was a real interesting selection.
Yeah, and so far, the first two songs, we've seen these clips. They're fucking legendary. Every time there's a compilation of Kiss, they'll always put these two clips in there.
Yep.
Because the band looks insane. Now, let's get to the final track, and that's Black Diamond. Oof. You got Paul facing the front, Gene and Ace's back turned to the audience.
Which I love.
Where they slowly build up the song, they turn around, and then, boom, hit it! And I love Peter tapping up. You see it.
Love that.
Oh my God. I know it's something so simple and stupid, but The band goes nuts, and then Peter just does his fucking magic. I don't give a shit what you say. I'll never get tired of Peter Criss doing Black Diamond. It's just something. It gives me goosebumps, and nobody else can do it. Sorry, Eric Singer. Sorry, Eric Carr. It's not the same thing. Then they break down. Gene and Paul begin to bop again while Ace just rips into the outro on his knees. That's a famous fucking image to us Kiss tards.
Very.
Smoke bombs. Peter's drum rise goes up. Sirens flash and fireworks. And then Peter trashes his drum sets.
Peter trashes the drum set. So here's a little snippet from Rick Monroe, who was a Kiss roadie. He says, quote, I remember Pearl Drums gave Peter a drum kit to use that night. By the end of the set, it was in pieces. He kicked the crap out of the kit. The band was pissed off that Peter did that. Ooh. I'll tell you right now, that moment at the end of Black Diamond, when it's just dun, as the drum riser's going up and Peter's got his sticks crossed, Gene's slamming on the bass, the smoke, I'm sitting here going, motherfucker, this is why we love this band. This is why we love, forget about the drama, the Twitter bullshit, the set list complaining, this, that, and the other thing. This right here is why this band absolutely fucking rules. And that performance was, I was getting like just goosebumps. I'm sitting there going, nobody was doing this in 1975.
No.
People must have been like, what is happening right now? The unbelievable energy and fury of the band was just unparalleled at that time. It was amazing.
Yeah, and you can't expect them to be like that 50 years later on the end.
No,
I get it. But they still should have been spontaneous.
Yeah, oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Right?
But again, everything became obviously corporatized. You know, this is 1975. They didn't even know where their next meal was coming from at that time, you know?
No, you got a great point.
Yeah.
But that is Midnight Special. Three great performances. Incredible stuff, right?
Really, really unbelievable.
I know I loved it. I know you loved it. So let's do what we normally do, Tom.
Okay.
We rank this versus the other ones we've done. So this is what we've done so far. ABC in Concert, Mike Douglas Show, Midnight Special, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, Kids Are People Too, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Kiss on Fridays, MTV Kiss Unmasked, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kiss on Arsenio Hall, Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular, Kiss on Family Guy, a very special Family Guy's Freaking Christmas, and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. 16 things we've done now when you add this one in. So, Tom, how have you ranked your 15 before we rank this one?
All right. So last place, I got the Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular. Then I got Macy's Day Parade, Kids Are People Too, Kiss on Family Guy, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kiss Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, MTV Kiss Unmasking, Kiss on Arsenio, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Mike Douglas Show, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Fridays, and ABC in Concert. Ring the bell, bitch.
Oh!
Easily number one. This was the, I really didn't know if anything was going to topple ABC in Concert, but oh man, I couldn't stop. I watched this clip maybe 5 or 6 or 10 times. I don't even know. I just couldn't get enough of it. I just loved every bit. And the songs they picked, I love early versions of Firehouse from Paul. So I kind of wish they had that, but Deuce and She and Black Diamond and that closeout of Peter just bashing the drums and fucking amazing. Loved it.
All right, Tom.
What about you?
15 going to number 1. Macy's Day Parade is dead last. Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular. Paul and Gene on Oprah. Kids Are People Too. Gene and Ace on Don Lane Show. Number 10 is Land of Hype and Glory. Then Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder. MTV Unmasking. Kiss Family Guy, very special Family Guy Freaking Christmas. 6 is Kiss on Fridays. Then top 5 is Kiss on Arsenio. ABC in Concert. Paul Lynde Halloween Special. Mike Douglas Show. Don Kirshner's Rock Concert. So Don Kirshner's rock concert was in 77, and it had them doing I Want You, Hard Luck Woman, and Love 'Em and Leave 'Em.
Yep.
Now, it's at number one simply right now because the fucking Love 'Em and Leave 'Em video clip that we've loved ever since we discovered it at Stonehill College when we were watching Extreme Close Up. The problem with that is, as great as that was, the three songs aren't even close to being as good as the three songs on this. Yeah. Ring the Bell Twice.
Yeah, baby. I knew
Midnight Special is better than all these.
Yep.
The Mike Douglas Show came close because it has the funny comedy bit and it has a couple good songs, but not three.
Yep. ABC in concert is right there for me. But plus the other thing that I liked about this performance that we didn't mention, the camera was really close up on them. You know, like ABC, a lot of the other ones you kind of felt like you were in the audience. This one felt like you were like right in front of them. And I like that. I think that really showed everything that much closer, and it just made it that much more dynamic to watch.
Yeah, when they did Kiss ABC in concert, I mean, that was just as good, but they did Nothing to Lose then.
Yep.
Firehouse and Black Diamond.
Yep.
That was just as close too.
Me too. Yeah,
that's a great one too.
Yep. I agree.
But just some reason, maybe it's a recency bias. I put this at number one.
Okay. Yeah. Love it. All
right. Tom, let's answer a question on Question of the Week.
All right. So our question of the week is actually going to be in response to Scott Wheeler's email that he sent us and that we read at the beginning of the show about compiling the worst 10 songs off the solo albums and whether that would be the worst Kiss album. Zeus, I made mine. I'm going to tell you right now, this wasn't easy for me to get 10 songs. So this was me doing this very, very quickly. Okay. These are my 10. Ozone, Snowblind, Wiped Out, When You Wish Upon a Star, Always Near You, Nowhere to Hide, Hold Me, Touch Me, Move On, Easy Thing, Kiss the Girl Goodbye, and Don't You Let Me Down. Now, I will say this. I don't mind Move On, and I don't mind Don't You Let Me Down, but I didn't want to cheat. I got to follow the rules and put 10 on there. This is pretty fucking terrible. This is an album I would not listen to. I would not listen to this album. This would easily be the worst Kiss album for me by far. It wouldn't even be close for me.
All right. Yeah, I'm having a hard time coming up with 10.
Me too. It was tough.
I got stuck around 4.
Because I know you love Aces and Peters, and those are the two that are kind of for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I had my choice, I wouldn't put any of Peter's songs on there.
Right.
I don't think any of them are bad songs. They are what they are. They're ballads. But Hold Me, Touch Me is definitely there. Okay.
Yep.
So that's a definite. When You Wish Upon a Star is definitely there.
Yep.
Mr. Make Believe is definite.
Oh,
I'm in Need of Love is definitely in there.
That could have made my list.
Yeah, I'll put See You in Your Dreams. That's 5.
Yep.
Now I got to come up with 5 more. Maybe Ozone. That's 1. If I'm looking at Gene, I love all those songs.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I forced myself. I mean, like I said, I like Move On. I like Don't Let You Let Me Down. I like,
I mean, 3 Gene on the first fucking side.
Right.
I'll go Ozone. Ain't Quite Right.
Yep.
I have to.
Which isn't terrible.
Yeah. Then, I mean, I'll pick some Peter ones just to fucking follow the rules. Kiss the Girl Goodbye.
Yeah.
Maybe Easy Thing. No, what am I saying? Tossing and Turning.
Oh, what?
And then You Matter to Me.
Those are like the 2 best songs on the album.
Yeah, those are 2 words. So I'll put Tossing and Turning, You Matter to Me, Kiss the Girl Goodbye, Ain't Quite Right, and Ozone.
Would that be your worst Kiss album?
Oh, fucking definitely. I don't even know what I have ranked last right now. Monster or fucking Unmasked or
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, definitely.
Carnival. I think you might have Carnival last.
I think it's Monster, and Monster would blow this away.
Okay. I agree. Yeah.
Now that was fun.
Yeah. Great question. Great little exercise there. But yeah, it's funny if you think about it. Last week when we made our Lost album, we both said, or at least I said, that this would easily be the best Kiss album for me.
Yeah.
And then you do the reverse, and it's like, this is easily the worst Kiss album for me.
If you took the 10 worst, yeah.
Think of that. That's pretty crazy.
But the other part to it is I would probably put the other one. If you took everything that's on your best of your Lost 78 album,
yeah,
and then made 10 more songs, that would be in my top 10 Kiss albums.
Oh, I agree. Oh, totally. Yes, I agree with that too.
The second album would be in my top 10 Kiss albums.
Yeah, probably.
Of songs.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. Chain number 2, right in a minute.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, Tom, where can people find us?
Yeah, always go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com. That's you can find all the links to our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads. You can also find every episode there, the Shout Out Loudcast episodes, the Dorm Damage album review crew, Zeppelin Chronicles, and a direct link on the landing page to our amazing book, Raise Your Glasses. Again, thank you for all the incredible feedback, the comments, the pictures of people holding up the book, the emails, the DMs. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting this project. Please get your book. You can get it right on our website. So please, you can do that when you find us there. And of course, you can always use our email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. We read every single email that comes in. Again, we say we can't read everyone during the show, but we do read every single one of them, and Zeus and I talk about them. So please keep those coming. And if you want your question of the week, please use our email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, and we'll make you a question of the week. We read one every week. We do a mailbag episode at the end of the year. So if you want to be part of that, please contribute to that. And we always like to say that we are a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Yeah, you can always DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, motherfucker. And check out our Spotify playlist, like the playlist that we created for the 78 Lost album. You find that on Spotify by looking at the profile, not the actual podcast. And you'll find those lists to be quite enjoyable. Anyway, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can. It helps us move up the food chain. And as I always, when we talk about our great new Raise Your Glasses book, if you purchase it and you enjoy it like you do, please go on to Amazon and give us a 5-star review. It's huge for us. It helps move the book up. More people see it, more people purchase it. And it's a big thank you for us. We really appreciate when you guys do that. So, and stay tuned because we'll have an announcement soon at some point about maybe autograph copies in different versions that might be coming of Raise Your Glasses. We have a couple ideas and we'll share them with you soon.
Yes.
Please go to the website for all things Shout It Out Loudcast, as Tom has mentioned. Shoutitoutloudcast.com, shoutitoutloudcast.com, where you can get anything you want, whether you want to join our Patreon, whether you want to buy Kiss, the Kiss book, the Raise Your Glasses book, or you want to look at our rankings where we listed the TV appearances, and you can go on our website and look at rankings and see that list. Make a comment there. Those comments stay on that website. So they're permanent there unless we don't like them and we fucking delete them. So anyway, Tom, we always like to end on famous last words. Do you have any?
Oh, yes, of course I do. Doing well for others. She doesn't really know. The powers are within her as she takes off her clothes. Ooh, God damn, baby.
Baby, if you're feeling good. Yes, baby, if you're feeling nice. You know your man is working hard. He took a deuce. Woo.
Very nice.
Tom, Loudcasters, Kiss Army, thank you.
Guys, you're the best. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear what you think of Midnight Special. And Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out of shape, worldwide KISStards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?